ladies and gentlemen, today we are joined by a very distinguished guest, His Excellency Michael Miller, Ambassador and Head of the Delegation of European Union to Bangladesh. Excellency, good to see you and thank you very much for being with us today. First of all, what significance does this summit basically hold in promoting women's in Bangladeshi green energy sector?
So good morning and thank you for the kind introduction. We are here in Dhaka today precisely to promote the participation, the greater participation of talented young women in the energy sector. And we do this because in Bangladesh we see the huge potential to support your green energy transition. You are an economic growth success story. We want this to continue, but given the climate crisis that we are all very well aware of, we need your country, like the European Union, to decouple economic growth from the growth in carbon emissions. And that is the big political message from the Europeans to Bangladesh today.
Well, that's the big concern issues of nowadays, the carbon limitation that you were talking about. How does European Union and Bangladesh can work together to engage the young women in this field?
So I think you need to be aware that we are very active across a range of policy activities. I can talk about discussions in terms of policy dialogue with your decision makers, your decision shapers, but actually we go far beyond that. So we go beyond public financing. We are mobilizing also private financing to help generate the investments required to see your country make this transition to its clean energy future. What is very positive, I say, with this interim government and as we move towards elections, what is very positive is that I hear from all the political parties this understanding of the challenges of climate change in a country like Bangladesh and of the partnership that your authorities want to build with the European Union, and we are there for you.
As you know that a big number of women, they belong to the rural areas. How we can create the more accessible or more affordable for them to engage in the main platform of greenization?
So I think any country that is not making full use of the talent and resources of its population, and this is always near or around 50%, is not going to enjoy the full benefits of all of the human capital that exists. Bangladesh is no exception, the European Union is no exception. We have had challenges ourselves in bringing greater labour force participation, bringing additional women into the labour market. I have to say we've got some good tips for Bangladesh here.
Mona Lisa Heavy Flow 15 piece প্যাকেটের সাথে 8 পিসের একটি প্যাকেট একদম ফ্রি।
One is of course to make sure that women are aware of the possibilities that exist. The second is to empower them financially, but also in terms of their education. So at the most straightforward level, it is to make sure that young women stay in education until they reach the age of majority. It's to make sure that young women do not get married below the age of majority. It's to make sure that they have this capacity to provide their skills for the benefit of the greater population. This is why we pass these messages on labour market participation. It's why we support your education system reform. It's why we speak up on the issue of child marriage, because this is absolutely part of your development story.
Well, very wonderful. Is there any upcoming project funded by European Union to, engage the young women in this sector in the upcoming days, and where the skill development project can be emphasized?
So Shakti Kona is the best example I can think of our reaching out to young women, encouraging them to take part, to speak up, to be part of this green energy transition. There will be numerous events that you see in the coming days and weeks, training young women to present themselves, to talk, to be aware, making sure that they are aware of all the possibilities that exist. Today in Dhaka, what we are doing is we're trying to matchmake between talented young women and private sector companies who are ready to engage staff. So this is all about identifying the best of your young generation and putting them in touch with the private sector so that all of their skills can make a difference to your transition.
Well, how does this initiative align with the European Union's global agenda, like in climate change issues and gender equality?
So it's fully aligned. I mean, we do mainstream gender equality issues in our work here in Bangladesh and elsewhere. We mainstream the role of youth in decision shaping in Bangladesh as we do elsewhere. Your country is in the middle of a transition that we support in an extremely robust manner. I find that events such as we are seeing today are fully aligned with our objectives. You are a climate vulnerable country, but the European continent is the fastest warming. So my message to you and to all of the colleagues is that we are all in this together, and you can count on us to remain in it with Bangladesh.
To wrap up this session, obviously I would like to know that how you're engaging with the Bangladeshi government and the civil society to promote the democratic governance and human rights. And at the time of your speech, you mentioned the green diplomacy. What do you want to say?
So my message to Bangladesh is really straightforward, and it is to say that we are building a partnership that is a strategic choice for you and for us. It has a creation of economic opportunity and respect for fundamental rights at its core. So the work we're doing today on economic opportunity because of the green transition and respect for fundamental rights in terms of promoting gender equality is a perfect message for me, but I think it's also a perfect message for your young, colourful and talented country to see how you can get the most out of the partnership with the Europeans. So here we are. I look forward to it. I wish everyone success today, and thank you very much for the interview.
Okay, finally, numbers of our audience watching us, would you like to share any message for the women basically who belongs to the rural area of our country?
I would only like to communicate that you are the talent of the future. We need you. Bangladesh needs you to speak out, take part, be counted, work in the labour market, share your skills.
Excellency, thank you very much for your time.
Nice to meet you today.